The aim of the Ellesmere Sculpture Initiative is to create a sculpture trail for Ellesmere over the course of the next 3 years by holding international sculpture exhibitions. This will be called the Ellesmere Sculpture Map, and each year an annual sculpture symposium will produce the pieces which will go into the exhibition and ultimately form the trail. The first symposium began with a visit to the exhibition site at Castle Fields overlooking the mere. The material used for this year's symposium was stone from the glacial moraine typical of the Ellesmere landscape, of which Castle Fields is a particularly fine example. The stones were firstly selected by the sculptors from a local quarry and then positioned ready to work on. Here we introduce the symposium artists. At the end of the symposium, the finished pieces were carefully positioned in Castle Fields overlooking the mere and became part of the 2009 exhibition of sculpture in the landscape. With its particular form and material, an individual sculpture can complement or contrast with its location. When placing art in the landscape, we set out to use these qualities to enhance a certain setting through careful selection and siting. And now we hear the sculptors describe their work.
I thought of this rock that has supposedly travelled thousands of miles to get to Ellesmere, and I thought it's going to stay in Ellesmere, so I imprisoned it in chains so it can't move. It's been trying to move, and maybe one day it'll succeed in making it.
It's not an ideal stone for carving, I knew from the very beginning, but I tried to use it as a block. And because it's made of layers, I tried to use these layers. So I tried to make something, somehow to use the nature of the stone.
Que es una ventana hacia el lago, ¿no?
And here he has an extra element on his sculpture is the view. It works like a big window for the lake. And the element of the center is what represents the water, but also the frame we can drop into the Ellesmere Lake.
Este último tiempo estoy trabajando junto con mi papá en un proyecto.
After the first idea, she was so successful, yes, on this first sculpture, and they have lots of requests to make another. And she makes another one with similar shapes, with the same concept. They have a natural skin, and they are so glacial, they are so old that anything we can see, and I thought I need to respect this element. So I just make some lines as a drawing, as a line of shadow. I make these blends, and I make this communication between three, because it's like if it was only one divided into three elements.
The only real decisions I had to make was how to begin it and how to end it. And what I actually liked about it was that it can be read in kind of two ways. When you look at it there, it looks like a series of stacked elements, but it's actually just one element that just continues round and then stops. And that's pretty much what I've done on the hill as well. what I tried to do with that piece was just actually run a spiral within a spiral.
In 2010, the Ellesmere Sculpture Initiative are holding the symposium at the British Waterways Maintenance Yard on the Ellesmere Canal near Ellesmere. This was the original workshop and foundry for a wide area of the Shropshire Union Canal, and the materials used for the symposium, stone and metal, will echo that historical link.